Radio Zero has an extra special guest tonight. Please introduce yourself.
Mike Mountain.
The Mike Mountain, the one and only.
That's right.
Yes, sir. I want to give you some flowers because I have known you for a lot of years. I have seen your work and I have raved about it on Radio Zero. So I know a lot of our listeners will know that I respect your work and the journey that you had with music. So, on that note, I'd like to just go back to the very beginning as you were coming up. Can you please tell us a little bit about what you were hearing, experiencing as, you know, as a young child, just hearing the music and vibes that caused you to fall in love with music and the culture of hip hop?
Oh, wow. That's a good question. Well, my mom, I got this music gift from my mom. She was a songwriter and she played the acoustic guitar. Nice. And she sang. So right before she had me, about 4 years before she had me, she wrote a song that ended up being a double Grammy award winning song that got sold off the radio. Yeah, she sent it into a radio contest in DC, and I think it was Ed McMahon that was hosting it, and I'm not sure if it was Ed McMahon. This was before Star Search and all that stuff, but yeah. It was like one of those contests, and I know I'm misquoting the guy. It was different old white guy. But she basically turned in a song and it got stolen, and we turned that story. We celebrate. I said, Mom, nah, that's not a shameful story. That's something that we need to celebrate because you're a legend. You know what I'm saying? You're a legend.
Absolutely.
And you know, that's something that I'm very proud of her for doing. I'm not going to say the name of the song. I'm not going to say the name of the artist who took the song, or, you know, her producers had to take the song, but it's a very, very famous song that came out in 74, and that was like 4 years before she had me. Now imagine if the industry had taken her and had swallowed her up, I would never have been born. She would never have met my father. Yeah. So everything happens for a reason. I believe I'm here to avenge what was taken and shine for her. And, you know, the music that I make, coincidentally, makes her so happy. It amazes her. I love that. And it makes her so proud. And she feels that, like, I can take anything and make music out of it because I sample a lot. And she feels like the music I make is soundtrack movie music. And that's exactly what I try to do when I put the sequence for an album together. I try to make a soundtrack to a movie. And yeah, mom really she's really about this music, man. She loves being around me and being in the same house so that she can hear the music. You know what I'm saying? She's about to move in with me in my new apartment so that she can be around me.
That's nice.
Yeah. So it's just temporarily, but you know, she's gonna be there to you know, keep me company, and I'm gonna keep her company as well. But yeah, so I started off. She played music. Thank you. And she played music for me, and she would you know, sit down on the floor with me and play the guitar and sing songs. You know, well, I would have her sing the Dukes of Hazzard song, "Just a Good Old Boy."
I love it.
You know, and we were like, "Yay, mommy! Yay, Michael! Yay!" You know, this is what my uncle would tell me when he would make fun of us. So, so that's basically how it went down. And you know, I grew up around a lot of music. My mom, she loved Prince. She loved Chicago. My aunt, she loved Chicago. One of my aunts loved Chicago. And Heart and different different rock bands and stuff like that. And my mom, she, you know, like she was kind of like a wannabe flower child. Like, you know, she was too young. She was too young to grow up in that era. but she was like a Brady Bunch type of, she played the acoustic guitar. You know what I'm saying? She was a square, and in a good way,
skilled one, right?
In a good way, very talented square, very wholesome person, and it's just it came from there, and then growing up, let's get into the meat of the matter, I would be around my uncles, and they would break dance and they would listen to hip hop, and I would grow up watching videos with them, and then when they weren't around, I was watching videos on the box and on MTV, and I listened to Run DMC and Public Enemy and Ice Cube and Sweet Tea and Force MDs and BDP and everybody, you know what I'm saying? I grew up in the late '80s, early '90s when it came to music. You know what I'm saying? So I had all of that militant black stuff. Had I Got the Power. You know what I'm saying? All that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Fight the Power. You know what I'm saying? All that good stuff by Public Enemy. You know what I'm saying? Chill Rob G, MC Lights, Redhead Kingpin.
A lot of rage and energy coming out in that era for sure, yeah.
Yeah, man. X-Clan, Tribe Called Quest, De La Soul, Queen Latifah, Moni Love, just everything. All of that good stuff. Stetsasonic, the Uptown Crew for Uptown Records, all of that good stuff. Stop the Violence, all of that stuff, just made me who I was. Later on, when I was in high school, or middle school, should I say, middle school, I started picking up the pen and emulating my favorite rappers. I would just memorize their verses, like Chubb Rock and A Tribe Called Quest. My favorite rapper was Phife Dawg growing up.
Oh,
and then in high school it became Rest in Peace to Phife Dawg, and then high school was Redman. He came out when I was a freshman in high school back in like '92, and that was like a big deal for me. Like he just changed the whole thing for me. I was like, yo, he's more like me. His style, he's weird. You know what I'm saying? He's like, he's got that hyper thing going on. You know what I'm saying? Like I really like that. You know what I'm saying? And he just says crazy shit, just weird shit. So I was like, yeah, I like this guy. That's what I wanted to be like. To this day, like Redman is my favorite artist. He's like a dose of sativa cannabis to me.
Nice.
He always lifts my spirits whenever I hear him, man. Like, and he listens to my music now too. Like I've done some work with artists on his label, and I've met him in person, and he's I don't know if you remember, but he's made a birthday video for me, telling me about what I need to do in the game, giving me some tips.
I think I saw that on Facebook. Yes.
Yeah, so I mean, like, we keep in contact, not literally on the phone or anything like that, but we do are aware of each other's music, and we communicate, you know what I'm saying, through our art. You know what I'm saying? Do little nods to each other. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like an artistic thing, and I really appreciate him always being an inspiration for me and keeping me in mind and not letting me down. You know what I'm saying? Because he knows that I really fucks with this music hard.
Yeah.
Put my life on it. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
And he's one of those MCs that does too. So I think that's why he relates so much. And yeah.
Did you have a mentor when you were growing up though?
My uncles were my mentors. They were like 7 years older than me. They were like my mentors. And then like other cats that actually rap, because my uncles didn't rap. My uncles weren't rappers. But my they encouraged me to rap. They encouraged me to do my artwork and stuff like that. And stay in school and stuff like that. And the guys that rapped actually were my peers. They were like maybe 2 grades higher than me.
Okay.
Shout out to Mr. Sinister. I'm sorry, Cardinal Sin. He's on my albums a lot. He's on my work a lot, and we went to high school together. And he actually inspired me to actually start doing it and putting it in and on recordings. And we were recording in many studios back in the 90s, back in high school. We had like 4-track and 8-track studios before, back when the studios had the 24 tracks.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We had like our own home studios that we could put like cassette tapes and split them into 4 tracks and 8 tracks and stuff. And we had the keyboards and the samplers and the mixers and all of that stuff that we could get from the pawn shops and the music stores. And you know what I'm saying? We hooked up our own thing and we started recording demos professionally. So yeah, my mentors were basically the guys who were already doing it that were in my age range in high school. And they were the only ones that were really serious about it. We were a small clique of people. We went to a really big high school, about 2,000 people. And it was the biggest school in my county. And the people there that rapped we were only about maybe no more than 10 deep.
Oh.
Yeah. We were the only ones that were really, really serious about it. Now there were other artists that are very were very serious that went to my school, like Maya. She's one. Maya, she actually had physical education with me in first grade. In freshman class, she was I don't know if she was a freshman or a sophomore, but she was basically sitting out the whole time. She was sitting out the whole time, just like, taking the class over again or whatever. But she wasn't doing too much participation. While everybody had to, do their thing, she was just chilling in the beaches, watching them and smiling.
That is my life.
Yeah, she was with her friend, she was with her friend and they were just sitting there just chilling. So I figured this was like probably a repeat course for her or something. I was just getting the credit. But, she had a special situation anyway, because she was already in the music business way back then. You know what I'm saying? Her parents had her, invested in that career early on. I just didn't know until like later, to the late 90s, when I seen her on TV, and I'm like, yo, that's the exact girl that kept staring at me and smiling in physical education class. So I thought she was Israeli or something, or Egyptian or something. She had really big ears too. She had really big ears. Not to clown her or nothing, but
no, I understand.
Like, it's just to give her some human traits. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, she was unique. She was unique. Very beautiful woman. Very beautiful woman.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So then, Martin went to my school as well. I didn't go during the time that he went. He went a few years before me. Martin Lawrence, the comedian. Yeah. Nice. We had the same art teacher. We had the same art class teacher. Shout out to Froggy, Miss Rosenberg. Yeah, we had the same teacher. And there were a lot of people that went to my school. My school was like one of the best schools in our county. Eleanor Roosevelt. Shout out to Coop DeVille. Not from the Coop, but it's a guy named Coop DeVille, aka Ryan Cooper. He was in my class, and he ended up being really big. He actually was a part of the Grave Diggers production team. Oh. And he moved on to other things as well. So like he's been doing it big like since way back in the day. Very serious guy, and I didn't end up meeting him until on Facebook and finding out about him. Mm-hmm. So yeah, a lot of people were into music, but I just didn't connect with them at the time. So yeah, that's where that came from. So yeah, I've been doing it, and I just kept doing it all the way until 2007 when I actually put out a real album.
Let's talk about that album, because I know you have a huge catalog of work, which I've got. I have a folder for you, and it's full. So let's go with that first project and talk about where that came from.
Okay, the Warpath LP, that came out in 2007. I published it through CD Baby and put it on all streaming platforms. It basically was my first solo album. It featured some artists that were in my crew at the time that I was working with, and it basically it showed the versatility of who I was, and you know, I wrote the whole thing. I write all my music, but I mean, I was just so proud because I did the whole thing. I didn't produce that one, but I did pick all the beats, and I engineered the recording myself for the most part, for most of the songs, and it was all about, the concept was all about like some Native American, because to me, you know, the school that I came from, the boom bap it reminded me of the heart of the Native American drum.
I see.
You know what I'm saying? It reminded me of the Native American drum. It was like real hip hop was like, real underground hip hop from the 90s was like American history to me. You know what I'm saying? It was like the traditional Native American way of it. You know what I'm saying? The American way, for real. And these other guys were just Boy Scouts. You know what I'm saying? These new artists that were, dumbing down their lyrics and rapping over cotton candy beats and, you know what I'm saying, synthesizer beats and stuff like that. These guys were just colonizers. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, on a warpath. I was going on a warpath, and I was just taking out any opponent through battle rhymes, and just taking them out, just literally killing MCs. And the first song on that album was "Last of the Dogmen" featuring Hassani Latif, and it was on since then. I just kept building on more and more songs after that. So yeah, it was a good album. It was about 17 tracks.
Yeah.
And it wasn't the best audio quality. It was my first project, but my projects got better as they went along. Quality-wise,
I wouldn't say better, but I mean, you're all the way through. I've been impressed with your energy that you put into it, and the fact that you bridge different language and you use Latino language, so you've got multiple cultures,
dynamics,
multiple styles. Yeah.
Right.
And your energy is amazing.
Appreciate that.
Move forward from that one as you progressed and you were growing as an artist. What was the next one?
The Warpath 2 sounded a lot better. I was a lot more experienced at recording. It wasn't mastered. The album wasn't mastered. Neither was the Warpath 1, but I had layered it so many times in the studio, like literally layering it in the multi-track DAW, that it sounded like it was mastered. But the Warpath 2 wasn't mastered, but it was still layered to it. It sounded pretty powerful. The Warpath 2 was a sequel to the Warpath 1. It came out in 2014, and it was just a representation of all my struggles that I had been through up to that point. Much like the Warpath 2, it was, the Warpath series was more like my manic depression, my bipolar manic depression, and the struggles you know, my relationships with people, good and bad, my experiences, good and bad, my struggles, my dedication, my love for the music, just everything put into it was like a war, because life is like a war, you know. One of my famous tracks on that album, on the Warpath 2, was called Mi Vida Es Guerra, which means my life is war. And it features Thurston Howe III and Mellow Man Ace. Now, the album was pretty special because it was the first time I had, like, well, no, the Warpath 1 had a feature by industry artist named Supreme Elohim from the Boot Camp Click. But the Warpath 2 had two features. It had well, actually, it had Supreme Elohim on there too, but it had the song Mi Vida Es Guerra had Mellow Man Ace and Thurston Howe III, and somehow I was able to pull that off, where I had got both of those guys on there, and it was a real big honor to ride with both of them. And the whole concept of Mi Vida Es Guerra is just talking about the struggles of life. Because sometimes, you know, it's a struggle just to get out of bed. And put on your socks.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? They say you put on your pants one leg at a time. You know, sometimes that's a struggle just to motivate and get up in the morning and do what you got to do and go to work or go to school. And that was what Mi Vida Es Guerra was about. And, you know, Mi Vida Es Guerra, excuse me. And the Warpath series is, you know, pretty much about that. So then, you know, I had about 3 volumes of the Warpath. 2016, I came out with the Warpath 3. And I was literally, in 2016, the Warpath 3 was dealing with my depression and the fact that I couldn't walk. I had scoliosis of the spine and degenerative hip disease, which was stopping me from walking. And I was going in. I had to go into surgery that year. I had to go into spinal surgery that year, where I had almost died under the knife from respiratory failure. So it was a big struggle. It was a big struggle, but I made it. I made it.
You did. And this is powerful because other people going through similar things in life and similar battles and things like that, I think this is something that the world needs, you know?
Yeah, and it's funny you said that, because actually I had got a letter during 2016 where, you know, there was this guy from Europe, I think he was from France, and he had said that, you know, he was a younger guy, and he was talking about how he loved my music so much. He loved the Warpath 1 so much. And this was in 2016, after I had dropped the Warpath 3. And he said that he loved my music so much that it had stopped him from committing suicide.
Oh, man, that's powerful.
And I was actually in the hospital in rehab from my surgery for like about 4 to 5 months. And I was, you know, trying to heal. And I was bedridden, and that gave me inspiration to go on. And he had bought one of my T-shirts with the Warpath cover on it, and I was just like, wow, you know, just to know that I'm touching people, this means that I gotta keep going. I gotta keep making this music.
Yes.
So what's next?
Yeah.
You know, I was like, I'm done with the Warpath. You know what I'm saying? I'm done. I want to make good music now. I'm done battling people. I'm done battling, you know, rival MCs and battling my demons and battling people that, you know, that did me wrong. You know what I'm saying? So what's next?
Yeah.
So then I came out with the Avalanche in 2018. And, the Avalanche was, you know, because of Mike Mountain, the Avalanche. You know, I figured, you know, I would spill over.
Love that, yeah.
Spill over with ideas and flows, kind of like an avalanche. and it would just be like, you know, it's here, you know what I'm saying? Kind of like Godzilla stomping through the land, you know what I mean?
Love that, yes.
Be some type of impact with the avalanche. And I came out with that. It featured Tane One, rest in peace to Tane One from the Artifacts, New Jersey's in the house. It also featured Hakeem Green from Channel Live. Everybody remember him from All We Do Is Spark Mad. Was a guy with the green eyes, light skinned cat. Wake up in the morning, got the yearning for herb. So we made a song dedicated to ganja, of course. And
yeah,
it was a good album. I don't remember any other features. Any other big features on the album. I don't remember. I'm sure there probably were, but I just don't remember at the top of my head right now. I'm a little hungry, so my mind's a little. You know what I'm saying?
I'm sorry to interrupt. I was just going to say, just as a little side note, what we as artists consider therapy for ourselves in terms of creativity and things like that, from what you just demonstrated, is also therapy to the others who can receive it. And that's what makes your work so powerful. And I'm looking at your Bandcamp page right now with all of the different things that you've done over the years. And you've done so much.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off from your journey, but good. it just means a lot to me what you're doing.
Thank you.
And we worked together at one point, and I was impressed with what you brought to the table on our track as well.
Yeah, we did. Our track is on that Bandcamp page, actually. Yeah, it's on that Bandcamp page.
It still hasn't been released officially out there, but I'm so glad that you got it because I'm proud of it, you know?
I don't know. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I don't know. I gotta check.
Okay.
I gotta check. I'm not sure.
Yeah, but the energy that you brought with that was so authoritative. And that's one thing I can call about your work is that it is powerful and authoritative, and when you say it, you mean it, you know?
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Donna.
You're welcome. But let's go back to you. I didn't mean to cut sidetrack everything, but going from the Avalanche, and then you moved on to, what was it next? Piragua or?
Yes, Piragua. Piragua was the next one after Avalanche.
That one come to be.
Yes, that was exploring my Latin heritage, because I always did like a Latin song ever since with the Warpath. Ever since my first album, I always made sure I did like a Spanglish or a Spanish song to explore it. And my Spanish is very what they would call rapiado, which is, you know what I'm saying, broken Spanish, you know what I'm saying, very raggedy Spanish. Because it's not my second language. It's something that I picked up. Yeah, something I picked up on the streets. Trying to learn my heritage and retrace my roots. So my Spanish isn't always that great, but it gets better. Está mejorando. It's getting better. So, you know what I'm saying? As the albums progress, my Spanish gets better. So I started with Piraguas, and that ended up being a real big hit. I got a lot of support from people in the industry, as well as in the independent game. It was a really, really good album. The title track Piragua hit with a lot of people. People said it reminded them of the B-Nuts. I gotta agree, it does. It did have that quality, and that was kind of like my aim a little bit. I mean, I wasn't just saying, oh yeah, I'm going to rip off the B-Nuts, but they were a big inspiration to me, and they've always been a group that I've listened to and inspired. It's been a big, big inspiration to my music. Piragua 2 came out. Now, Piragua came out in 2020. Piragua 2, or Mas Piragua, that came out in 2021. And then Mas Piragua 3, or Triple Piragua, AAA Piragua, that came out in 2024. And I had a lot of good pieces on there. I had Psycho Les from the B-Nuts on AAA Piragua on a song called Mucho Swing. I had Thurston How the Third on all 3 Piragua albums. I had different casts, man. Just too many to name. I got Shaban Sadiq was on a couple. Yeah, Shaban Sadiq, you know him. It was really, really good. Really good series. The Latin albums were very fun, creative, innovative. I produced a lot of the tracks using a lot of the whole Piragua series was, it used a lot of Latin samples. And I made different types of music with it, mainly boom bap music. It was that boom bap sound using Latin samples, and some of them were trap sounds using Latin samples. Some of them were Caribbean, reggaeton type music. It was a variety of things. Something that gave me big inspiration to do the Latin music was always Tony Touch and his Reggae Tony series.
Oh yeah, Tony Touch.
Yeah. He did a variety of different Latin music on his series, so that gave me an idea to do my Piragua series. That always inspired me. So I had that in the background when I was doing Warpath and stuff. I was like, yeah, I got to do that eventually, and I did. So that takes us all the way to 2024, and then in 2025 I dropped 2 albums. My last 2 albums, which was Mountain Dreams, which was produced by Cena Dream, a local DC artist, and DC and PG County, Maryland area. And that was fun working with him. That's one of my best friends, and we literally worked on the album in person, and we came up with a good job. It was a good album. I think it was about 17 tracks, maybe 18, 17 tracks. Had Thurston Howell on it. Thurston Howell is usually on all my albums.
Yes, and Prince Poe you worked with a lot. Was he on that one, or I know there's others?
Prince Poe was actually on the Triple Piragua album. Okay. He was on the interlude. I actually caught him on one of his Facebook Live sessions, and he gave me a shout out. So I had decided to record the session, and I don't know how I caught it on time, but I caught it, and I put it on the album. Yeah, I thought that was a good idea to do. So it came out pretty good. It came out pretty dope. So yeah, the moving on to the Mountain Dreams, it had Cena Dream, Thurston How the Third, my friend Isis Offset. She's a hot MC from Jersey. Young 25-year-old MC, very raw talent, very powerful on the microphone, very authoritative, very, very powerful, very talented, very innovative. Who else? And I had Seen a Dream on it. He actually did a verse. He produced the whole album, but he did a verse on it as well. Nice. And I had 2 features. I had actually 3 features by my good folks, bro, A.A. Rashid. Now, he's the same guy he does all the skits for Westside Gun and the Griselda Records and stuff. So I thought that would be a good look to have him on the album. It actually was. It brought in a lot of streams. So that was kind of strategic. But he was always a big inspiration to me, and to this day he still is. He's one of the greatest minds of our time, and all he had to do was just freestyle something, and it was just poetry,
Wow, yeah.
So then we come to what, 2025, and I did Miketronics. Miketronics, produced by Tron Beats. And that was like boom bap out, man. It was just hip hop at its essence. It's produced by Tron Beats, and it featured Thurston Howell, The Bad Seed, and Cardinal Sin. My guy from high school, Cardinal Sin. And album was really good, man. I don't know how much I could talk about the albums, because, you know, I pretty much got to not to toot my own horn, but I've pretty much got into a habit of making really, really good stuff. You know what I mean?
I agree with you. I totally agree with you. You know I do.
Thank you. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I mean, you would know because you buy my music all the time.
All the time.
Thank you so much for the support.
Oh, you're welcome. Cause I love
so much. That really helps me. That keeps me going. You don't know how much that means to me. Yeah, so like, you know, I mean, it's just a really good thing that I got the support of you and so many great musicians and dedicated supporters out there, and I get to be heard, you know, even if it's just on a small scale of listeners. It's a very loyal amount of listeners,
and that's the key, because word of mouth spreads.
Yeah, you guys rock with me for years, and you never went nowhere. And I love you so much for that. Guys are the best. Awesome. Shout out to you guys. Y'all the best.
What about Mr. Cool? That's the latest one that you've got out.
Oh yeah, that's the single I did. I produced it, and I came out with the single, and I was just like, you know, the hook says like, it's like, that ain't cool, Mr. Cool, that ain't cool. So I was like, all right, well, I'm gonna talk about how I'm Mr. Cool, and at the end, I'm going to talk about how stuff ain't cool. I'm going to try to make an example out of it so I could, like, you know, teach a lesson or something. So I'm like, in this right, talking about don't curse out your parents because that ain't cool. And then he goes on to say, that ain't cool. And then the second verse, I'm like, or the first verse, I'm like, stop hating on your own friends because that ain't cool. You know?
Yeah.
And during the song, I'm talking about how I can talk about the metaphor of being cool, and, you know, ice and cold water and snow and freezers and refrigerator Perry and, you know, all types of stuff, you know, all types of metaphors that had to do with ice and everything except the reference to immigration, you know, because I wanted to keep it lighthearted and, you know, not too political.
Yeah.
But yeah,
and I want these listeners to go and check out your work, and tell them where they can hear more of all of this, because there's so much out there for them to catch up with.
Okay, well, my Bandcamp page is Mike Mountain. That's micmountain.bandcamp.com, or they could go directly to my website at mikemountain.com. That's micmountain.com. And you know, they could Google me, MIC Mountain. They can find me on all platforms: Spotify, iTunes, Apple Music, Deezer, all of these other places.
Everywhere. It's everywhere. Everywhere. Are you taking any bookings for collabs or
yes,
shows?
I am. You can contact me on my services page on MikeMountain.com. Go to the services and fill out the form for collaborations. It's got a whole menu of different stuff that you might want, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible, and we can negotiate something. See what you're looking for, and we can negotiate something. So go to services, go to the services section at MikeMountain.com. That's MICMountain.com, and we'll work something out.
You have other talents as well. Tell them about your art.
Okay, well, I've been drawing since I came out the womb. Basically, I came out the womb with a crayon and a coloring book. So I've been drawing since I was a little kid. I've been drawing lifelike portraits since I was like 6, 5, 6 of my family members and people and stuff like that. Still life, all types of stuff like that. Really good with the pencil and the picture. So I ended up getting a degree in graphic design and for print and the web. I finished school online in 2006, and I've been doing it ever since. Right now, currently, I'm a social media manager and web designer for a marketing firm in Maryland, and I still do graphics. I've been doing freelance graphics for the last 25 years now. Since 2001, since I was in school, and I do all types of designs. Y'all can contact me. I do all types of designs, and for print and media, for clothes, products, all types of stuff. I do web design, I do animation, I do all types of stuff. So, y'all can contact me on Insta Media, on our social media, and Insta message me or DM me, and we can get something going. I can give you a quote on something if you need something done. Yeah, so I do that. So I do my own animated videos. I do my own merchandise. I do my own CD covers. Well, I just stopped doing my own CD covers. I have A.A. Rashid do my CD covers because he's a well-known artist and, in the art world, around the world, and I want my work to be art pieces of work. So, I actually have my CDs, when I sell them as physical copies, they're actually pieces of artwork because they're done by a professional artist now. So I have him do my covers now, but for everything else, I do the graphics for him. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
I do my own websites and all that stuff, and like I said, the animated videos. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So if the listeners want to work with you, they know that they can reach out to you for graphic work, production, and collab.
Web design. Yeah.
And web design too.
Collabs. Yeah.
Beautiful. Thank you. What's coming up for the future? Are you working on anything right now or anything planned for the future?
I'm working on a Latin album. Thank you, Mom. I'm working on a Latin album. It's going to come out no later than July of 2026.
I look forward to hearing that.
Yeah. I look forward to putting it out. I can't wait for you to hear it too.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm just getting everything ready for it.
Yes. So if I hear it, the listeners are going to hear it because I'm going to be playing on the show. So
yeah,
absolutely.
I appreciate that.
Well, you're welcome. Okay, is there anything else that you want to tell us about while you're here?
Nah, just look out for my new album, Recetas. That means recipes in Spanish. Coming out no later than July. There's going to be some singles that's going to be coming out, so check me out on all platforms and subscribe to my music. Subscribe to me on YouTube. That's where most of the music comes out first. You can check me out on SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple Music, any place where they have music at. You can find me there. I'll be putting out more singles, and until the album comes out, there'll just be more singles. And I got stuff to feed y'all. It's always diverse music. It's not always Latin music. It's not always boom bap. It's not always one thing. So it's something for everybody. And I just want y'all to enjoy. And I want to give a shout out to my DJ Scratch Hook, aka E-Rex. He does all my music. He engineers and masters all my music. He edits my music. He makes sure that it doesn't come out unless it sounds right. I want to give a shout out to my mom. She's my biggest supporter. I love you, Mom Dukes. Want to give a shout out to my girl, my future wife to be, Sadia. I love you. And want to give a shout out to Seeing a Dream, Thurston How the Third, Cardinal Sin, everybody in my circle, man. Everybody. Including Donna, Mohafari, you know what I'm saying? All my peoples.
Sir, thank you. There's a question I need to ask you. There's a question that I ask all of my guests. And that is, if you were to give advice to the younger artists just coming up, what advice can you give them?
Don't give up. When it gets hard is right when the reward's about to come. Don't give up. Stay focused. Life is going to life. Life is going to happen. There's going to be distractions. But stay focused. Keep your eyes on the prize. Stay focused. Keep creating. Keep pushing out. Keep putting out your music. Keep representing your brand. Don't give up.
I want to give you flowers for that one because just as a side note, you've given me a lot of encouragement for various things over the years, and it meant a lot to me. It's not something that you get a lot in this world today, but you're one of the big hearts, so I appreciate you.
You are too, Lionheart. I appreciate you so much. With your Leo self.
Thank you. All right.
You're one of the good Leos, man. I love
one of the good Leos.
You know, it's good and bad in every sign. There's good and bad in every sign.
Oh, that's so true.
It depends on the person, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
And you have all of the good qualities of Leo and none of the bad.
No, I appreciate that. Thank you
so much. One of my best friends forever.
Bless you. Thank you. As we go out, could I please ask you to give me a drop from Mr. Cool? And we're going to be playing that one right now. I'm going to echo it up, and we're going to go out with Mr. Cool.
Yo, check this out. This is Mike Mountain, and right now you listen to my new single, Mr. Cool, on Radio Zero.
All right, thank you so much, and you're welcome back on Radio Zero anytime. You know that, right? You do know that.
So much. I plan to come back. Okay. Wheel up, bring her back. Come rewind.
Yes, sir. Thank you, King.
Thank you, Queen.